Well, let me just first of all rejoin you and indicate that even yesterday, there was a fairly emotive discussion within the cabinet as to this whole question of corporal punishment. And there's a pending consultation with the stakeholders that the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Social Services will assist the cabinet in getting towards a more composite position on the matter. You are correct in terms of there is a distinction between corporal punishment as outlined in the prescription of the Ministry of Education and child abuse. And the whole question of how do we treat this? And I would want to correct a position. At no point in time did the cabinet advocate that we had an interest or are even looking at the removal or the making it unlawful for corporal punishment to be administered in the homes. We have not looked at it. It's merely a question of in the school system. And so this is a matter that is pending. We understand that there are a number of persons who are advocates of either or position, and there is not yet a consensus, I would say, even at the cabinet level or at the national level. So I think we're going to have to find a way of discussing this thing dispassionately, rationally, and perhaps maybe arriving at some acceptable compromise. There are value systems associated with it on either side of the divide, and we are just going to have to take our way and tread carefully. But clearly, in more recent time, what has been presented to the public and what has happened to that an unfortunate child is a matter that should concern all of us, whether or not it will border on anything that is an unlawful act, and the question that you've asked, whether or not in that particular environment the teacher or the school should be held accountable. What are those measures of accountability? And I think that maybe is the issue. What sanctions could be brought on the teacher or on that particular school? If they are not yet existing, then as we come to an agreement on a new approach or a revised approach towards corporal punishment, maybe that would be one of the issues that would have to be considered as well. Where there are breaches beyond what would have been agreed upon, what kind of sanctions and accountability needs to be in place to ensure that we can eliminate it or at least keep it to the barest possible minimum.